You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Right now at 7, students in Carthage participated in a culinary challenge yesterday. Anthony Saviallo shares their creations and challenges. Plus, Joplin celebrates the 32nd Street Project with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. And a hiker falls over 1,000 feet in Hawaii and lives. These stories and more coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Chris Warner has the morning off, so it's just me, but we jump into it with the culinary students in Carthage who did their best to create a concoction out of cake mix. The only stipulation was that they couldn't make cake. KOAM's Anthony Saviallo has more.
Usually, if you have a box of cake mix, your intentions would be to make cake. Well, culinary students at Carthage High are making anything but cake.
We're going to make a maple bacon ice cream sandwich.
Well, we're making cake batter fudge.
We are making maple bacon donuts. Well, they were supposed to be donuts, but we don't have a donut pan, so we're kind of improvising a bit.
Improvisation is the name of the game, especially since these students only had an hour to make their dish.
How does one make cake mix Oreo bars?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out because we don't know either.
Despite the challenge, these students don't back down. For ice cream sandwich making Anna Forbes, this is only a taste of what the rest of her life will be like.
Yes, I am going to go to St. Charles Community College for culinary arts for an associate's degree. So
You already have it all planned out?
yes, I already got it.
Okay, this better be a baller ice cream sandwich then.
We're hoping.
Hoping may be a good plan, but all of these students share one thing: skill in the kitchen. Just ask their teacher.
It's awesome. That is one of the best parts of my job, but also one of the hardest parts of my job because you get to see them grow and turn into these awesome young adults and then they leave you. But it's great to see how they are as young freshmen and how they mature and how they develop all these skills over time.
And as time winds down and the judging begins, Anna's team finds themselves on top, and they took home the cake. More or less. Reporting in Carthage, Anthony Saviallo, KOAM News.
Each student was judged on their dish using the criteria of taste, appearance, and creativity.
Good morning. We are dealing with some wet weather across our westernmost communities on this Friday. Many of you will likely have a dry morning commute, but you'll want to take that umbrella with you because you will need it later on. However, if you live just west of Chanute, that is where we have seen the rain all morning long. As I zoom in here, you can see that includes Yates Center, Fredonia, Independence, down into Nowata, Bartlesville, Sedan, Howard, and Eureka. I know it looks like we're seeing some spotty showers across the rest of Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, but that is not reaching the ground. The air is just too dry, but the atmosphere is in the process of moistening up. Where it is raining, it's certainly cooler. Temperatures in the 40s, but where we are just seeing the cloud cover, we're in the upper 40s, lower 50s. Not a bad start considering we were in the 20s and 30s at this time yesterday morning. So here's what you can expect throughout the day. The showers will be increasing. So the rain won't make it to Pittsburgh, Joplin until lunchtime, if not a little bit after lunchtime, especially into our Missouri counties and into our Arkansas counties. Once the rain moves in, the temperatures will drop. So we'll be in the 50s and then we'll drop into the 40s once that rain becomes more widespread this evening, at least for our eastern half of the region. Some of the rain could linger into part of the weekend. We'll break down that weekend forecast and show you which is the better weekend day and also the 10-day coming up in a bit. Caitlin, back to you.
Thanks, Tiffany. The Economic Security Corporation in Joplin announced some big transportation news. The nonprofit today unveiled their CARS project. CARS stands for Community Action Ride System. Volunteers will drive their own cars and take people free of charge anywhere in Jasper, Barton, Newton, and McDonald counties. Rides outside the 4 counties are available if the driver is willing. Economic Security says the project can be used for just about anything.
Anybody can use the program as long as you are a resident of Barton, Jasper, and Newton and McDonald County. And you can use the rides to go to and from work, school, daycare, medical appointments, grocery store, pharmacy, whatever the need is there. If you don't have transportation, this will be a program that you'll be able to take advantage of.
Economics' goal is to make the program 7 days a week, nights and weekends if they have enough drivers. A Joplin police officer has minor injuries following a crash yesterday. Investigators say the officer was running with his lights and sirens on to an emergency call traveling north on South Main Street. They say a westbound pickup did not yield at the intersection with 32nd Street and T-boned into the patrol car. The officer was treated at the hospital for his minor injuries, and the pickup driver was not hurt. The city of Joplin is celebrating the completion of its 32nd Street widening project. The city yesterday held a ribbon cutting on the west end of the street to celebrate. The project widened nearly 2 miles of 32nd Street to 3 lanes, stretching from Schifferdecker Avenue to Central City Road. It also added a center lane and a sidewalk.
Improving the quality of the drive for the public. It was about meeting capacity with the 3-lane road. It's not only safer, it can handle more traffic. It doesn't make it future-proof, but it does carry it a lot farther into the future.
Work on the project began 2 years ago in December of 2021. Up next, American spending is trending upward this holiday season. We'll have the details. And later, Congress is still battling over funding for Ukraine. Madeline Rivera will have more. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Then, give yourself the gift of not checking it. The gift of connection at U.S. Cellular. New and current customers get any phone free.
Topping Nation Watch this morning. For the first time since the pandemic, Americans plan to spend more change than usual this holiday season. According to the National Retail Federation, holiday spending in 2023 is expected to grow between 3% and 4%. A recent survey by D.A. Davidson & Co. reveals that about 1/3 of Americans say already they budgeted their money in preparation for holiday spending. Another survey conducted by Bank of America shows that about 80% of Americans are ready to spend up to $1,000 for the holidays this year. The bank survey also reveals that millennials were 3 times more likely to indulge on higher spending than any other generation. A judge issues a tentative ruling that billionaire Elon Musk must testify again in a federal agency's probe on his Twitter purchase. A federal judge in California issued the ruling after Musk refused to attend a September interview with the Securities Exchange Commission, or SEC. Investigators then sued for his testimony. Musk's attorney argued in court that the SEC does not have the authority to issue subpoenas to compel testimony. The judge didn't buy the argument, and the tech billionaire bought the social media company for $44 billion last year and has since rebranded it to X. Regulators are investigating whether Musk properly disclosed his stock purchases and if he provided misleading statements in this SEC filings for the acquisition. Even after Ukrainian President Zelensky's visit to D.C., reaching a deal for more aid for the war-torn country can be called slow at best. Both sides are at the table, hoping to reach a conclusion in the next few days. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
A glimmer of hope in the Senate, where Republicans and Democrats are signaling progress in their talks to provide more funding for Ukraine and address the southern border.
A number of Senate Republicans have been working in good faith to make sure that supplemental legislation makes substantive policy changes at the border instead of just throwing money at the problem.
The small boost of optimism comes after days of frustration. Republicans insistent any more aid for Ukraine must come with immigration reform. While the negotiations have yet to be fleshed out, the Associated Press reports one of the proposals being considered would allow Homeland Security officials to stop migrants from applying for asylum if the number of total crossings exceeded the daily capacity by 5,000.
President Biden has always been willing to work across the aisle. His entire political career, he's always tried to find compromise.
Some Democrats and immigration advocates are urging the Biden administration not to give in to GOP demands.
It would literally be the most exclusionary, restrictive immigration legislation since the racial quota laws of the 1920s.
But with billions of dollars for Ukraine on the line, the White House has limited options.
Nearly 20 months after he launched his brutal and barbaric invasion, Mr. Putin said today that his aggression in Ukraine will not end, and there will only be peace, quote, when our goals are achieved, end quote.
The Senate is expected to return on Monday as they try to hammer out a deal on the border and Ukraine before Christmas. In Washington, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
And that's it for our top stories on Nation Watch this morning. Now, rain is moving through today, and Tiffany Savon will have your weekend forecast. Coming up, NEO brings some national championship in esports, and Fernanda Silva has a story. Yeah, that was
the holiday sale at Furniture Row. It's on sale, like the Queen Size Summit, now only $332.49. Get a $300 gift when you purchase a Tempur-Pedic, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. The holiday sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
Good morning and welcome back. It is 7:14 on this Friday and we are cloudy out there in Joplin. It's 51 degrees. We have a breeze out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Notice that the clouds are still pretty high based. We need the atmosphere to moisten up a little bit, these clouds to lower before we start to see any rain falling from the sky and reaching the ground. Temperatures all across the four-state area. It is cooler out west where we are seeing the rain. It's 43 in Sedan, 44 in Independence. It is 49 degrees in Chanute, 51 in Joplin though, 51 in Miami. It's 51 in Anderson and 53 degrees in Bentonville, Arkansas. So here's what the satellite and radar looks like. If you just look at it at a glance, it looks like we're seeing some light spotty showers into Joplin and Pittsburgh. However, it's not reaching the ground. We're going to stay dry for the next couple of hours in these areas. But where the rain is reaching the ground, it's where you see those yellows and the oranges. Chanute, I'll have to check your latest observation, but last time I checked, it was still dry. So if you're seeing any rain, it's probably on the light side. Yates Center seeing the rain, same for Fredonia, down into Eureka, Howard, Sedan. It's been raining for the past couple of hours there. And Nowata, if you're seeing any rain reaching the ground, it's probably pretty light at this time. Pryor Creek, Veneta, it's dry at this time as well, but you will start to see that rain push in over the next few hours, and that's what our future track is showing. So let's go through time here and show you when the rain is going to arrive in your city or town. Going forward by 12 o'clock, this is lunchtime, we start to see the showers approach Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, and also down into Miami. Then notice that the rain pushes over the state line and continues to make its way across portions of southwestern Missouri and also northwestern Arkansas. So the rain won't arrive in Joplin until after lunchtime, but it's looking like a rainy evening commute for you. And if you have plans tonight, be sure to bring the rain gear and the umbrella with you. Temperatures will be dropping into the 40s overnight, and by tomorrow morning, we'll be down into the lower 40s. Couple of spotty showers will be possible tomorrow morning. It will be a cloudy, damp start, but then we'll have an upper level disturbance swinging in from the north. It'll clip our Missouri counties and our Arkansas counties. Therefore, we're going to keep a chance for a couple of showers in the forecast tomorrow afternoon, but notice how we may see some sunshine the farther south and west you go. So Saturday afternoon for areas from Joplin, Pittsburgh, and points to the north and east, we could see a couple of spotty showers. It will be a cloudy day, but areas farther west, you may break out to some sunshine. Either way, we're going to get a decent amount of rain over the next 24 hours. We should see about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch for those areas in green, the farther west you go. In the blue shaded areas, about 1/2 an inch to maybe an inch, and that is where the drought is a little bit worse, so that is some good news. Overall, it's going to be a cooler weekend, especially compared to what we've seen lately. A few showers possible on Saturday, 48, 53, more sunshine on your Sunday. Monday is a little bit chilly again, 48, and then we'll see another warm up. We're back close to 60 on Wednesday. Maybe a stray shower Thursday, but we have those rain chances going up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Still some timing issues with that next system, but it looks like it'll bring some more beneficial rain to the region with temperatures in the 50s. Caitlin?
Well, NEO can claim bragging rights to a national championship. The school's esports team just won the 2023 National Junior College Athletic Association esports title. And here's a fun fact, all the members are from Brazil. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to them to learn if this is a Brazilian ability.
There are 3 options as to why you couldn't understand anything NEO freshman Fábio Franklin is saying. A, you don't speak Portuguese. B, you don't understand anything about esports and video games. C, all of the above. Franklin arrived in the United States with a full tuition scholarship at NEO to play esports this fall. Esports is short for electronic sports, a form of competition using video games. With his teammates, all Brazilians like his, he won the 2023 National Junior College Athletic Association esports title. For Franklin's coach, a chance to show that esports can open doors.
Right? Esports nowadays is giving the same opportunities as baseball and basketball are. They're very different, but still, in the end of the day, the same opportunity of you pursuing your college degree while you're playing your favorite game and getting a scholarship.
Sophomore Fabio Saramello says he always heard esports were a waste of time.
It's kind of crazy because that's what I heard all my life, especially during COVID when I had to choose a lot from the online classes and playing and practicing a lot. And then when I had this opportunity to come to the United States and get a scholarship was just life-changing for me.
Life-changing even in the small details. Franklin, in particular, is excited to see snow for the first time. When asked if he wants to build a snowman,
of course I would do. Of course I need this. This is like a dream for me. I need to do some angels at the snow.
Being from Brazil myself, and with NEO's team being full of Brazilians, I decided to give it a try.
We're gonna see if playing Valorant it's a Brazilian ability or if those guys are much better than everybody else. Okay, what do I even do here?
WSD move character.
While I don't have 1/3 of the abilities the NEO players do, I got to understand why being from the same country can help the team succeed.
We feel more like a family, so we are more together than we will ever be. The communication, it's something that's really important on those games.
In Miami, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The game they were playing is called Valorant. It's a first-person tactical shooter game. NEO Esports went undefeated for the season with 22 wins. Some of the players have a full tuition scholarship. And coming up, a hiker in Hawaii survives a 1,000-foot fall and lives to thank those who rescued him. You're watching the KOAM on Fox 14 News.
Between the wildlife, wilder drivers, and wild weather, it's a real jungle out there. When accidents happen, remember Larry Bear.
Contractor, a business, or a homeowner looking for high-quality American-made windows built right here in Carthage, USA, give Windows for Less a call today. If you want the best for less, call Windows for Less.
They're calling him the Miracle Man. A visitor in Hawaii fell 1,000 feet while he was on a trail and actually survived. Now he's taking his rescuers and thanking them. Richard has more.
Walking slowly and recovering from broken bones, bruises, and puncture wounds, 34-year-old Ian Snyder doesn't remember the moment he fell 1,000 feet to the bottom of a mountain from the Ko'olau Summit Trail near the Palinachus Trail in Nu'uanu. But he and his parents wanted to say mahalo to the first responders who saved his life December 7th. For 3 days near the bottom of a waterfall, he survived with only stream water.
I had to reach over all the way across to grab water with my right hand in the stream. It was a little trickle.
And faith that his life was in God's hands.
I had made my peace and said, if this is my time, I'm ready to go. But if it's not my time, I know that patch of sky in front of me, I'll be able to wave at a helicopter. I'd made my peace with God. I will be okay whether I live or whether I die.
That helicopter did come, as did a coordinated rescue effort involving first responders, the Oahu hiking community, and many others from down that dangerous mountain.
Made it to Konohonui and fell here.
Based on what we saw from Air One and the terrain, we were amazed that to be 1,000 feet down from the trail and to have survived is, as we've said many times, a miracle. We still are baffled by it.
As you can imagine, Mr. Snyder, your call was the most memorable that day. Not every day our department sees a situation like this. Falling 1,000 feet from a trail is no joke.
Thank you.
Oh my God, can I get a hug?
Yes.
Hikers who helped with the search wanted to meet the man they had been tracking on his social media.
And I thought the best gift we could give to the family was that we had found a body. And when we found a whole human living and breathing and waving at the sky, I was like, Merry Christmas, I guess.
Miracle or not, Snyder's injuries were serious and he's still healing. Coming up, the Girard School District made changes to its student manual yesterday. We'll have the details on why the policy changed. And Tiffany will have another check of your forecast when the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 returns.
Bandit UTVs and tractors. And be sure to check out the cold weather gear. It's the Countdown to Christmas giveaway at Schultz Lawn and Garden, Pittsburgh and Lamar.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Chris Warner has the morning off. Freeman Health System held a ribbon cutting off in its own yesterday, this one in Neosho, Missouri. The health system is celebrating the completion of an expansion of its Neosho Physician Group building. The 4,200 square foot addition cost $1.2 million. Officials say it features increased clinic and office space, as well as space for an academic center for Freeman's family medicine residency.
And we are extremely fortunate to be able to have a family practice residency clinic right here in the heart of rural America in Neosho, Missouri. I don't think that our community truly knows how fortunate we are to have the entire program available right here locally to us.
The new expansion is across from Freeman's Hospital in Neosho. A newly passed law calls for a ban on some foreign countries from owning land in Arkansas. The law cites national security concerns. Enforcing that law, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders forced a Chinese-owned company to sell its farmland. While there was one incident of Chinese nationals accused of spying in Arkansas in 2018, the bill's lead sponsor says the law is largely preventative.
We have to trade internationally, but we don't have to be taken advantage of because we want to be internationally traded.
The governor said in a statement Wednesday, quote, "China is a hostile foreign adversary and under my administration, we will follow the law." The Girard, Kansas School District tonight changed a controversial policy about the hair length of male students. The change came at yesterday evening's school board meeting. The previous policy gained national attention last month when an 8-year-old Native American boy was forced to cut his hair because of the school policy. The American Civil Liberties Union sent a letter to the district on behalf of the boy's family demanding the rule be changed, saying it violated state and federal gender discrimination laws. The school board tonight changed its handbook to remove the policy. In a statement, the Girard School Superintendent says, quote, "Our work will continue to prepare each Girard student for a bright future, and we appreciate the way the people in our schools and community work together every day to make our schools a safe, caring, and respectful place for learning." The Jasper, Missouri Police held their kids' Christmas party last night. The party hosted about 100 local children and their families. The event featured plenty of food and plenty of giveaways. Kids also got to see Santa and pick out their own age-appropriate toy. You can check out more from the Christmas party on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Tiffany Savona, and you will need to grab the umbrella before heading out on this Friday. However, some of you may not need it just yet, but the rain is on the way and it's slowly pushing from west to east across the 4-state region. We are currently dry across Missouri, Arkansas, and far eastern Kansas and eastern Oklahoma, but where the rain is reaching the ground, that is the case in Iola, back toward Yates Center. I just checked Chanute, still not reporting any rain, but it may be very light, maybe some sprinkles at this point, and the showers continuing for Independence, Bartlesville, and Nowata, probably just a few sprinkles at this time. So this rain is slow to move to the east because it's moving more southwest to northeast than just directly east. Temperatures are on the mild side except where it is raining. That's where temperatures are in the 40s. Otherwise, we're in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. So many of the kids will head off to school and it will be dry. But if you're in those areas where the rain is reaching the ground, or for our western communities, definitely let the kids know and make sure you give the kids the rain gear, because even if they're not dealing with the rain this morning, It will be there during the afternoon when they're heading home, 56 degrees. The weekend is looking cooler than what we've seen lately. We'll break that down for you and show you the 10-day, which does include Christmas Eve now, since we're getting so close to the holidays coming up in a little bit. Caitlin?
And that's a look at our top news stories and weather. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, a father and daughter in Wisconsin make a once-in-a-lifetime discovery on a fishing trip. We'll hear more.
Exciting news. You about interest-free financing and start creating your perfect home for the holidays. Now through December 23rd, only at Westco.
Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Shannon, what do you got for us?
I've got it all for you. Big 3. Number 3 this week. That's how we count them down. 3, 2, 1. Now, this is something I've never heard of. Jimmy John's had a fire alarm go off the other day. They had smoke, in fact, inside the building. But Joplin Fire Department realized there was no fire very quickly, and someone was doing a burnout.
Cool.
Just about a block away. But people on Range Line told me, they said, oh my gosh, something is on fire big. Like, it really was a lot of smoke. And you can tell because this person obviously tore up some tires, in fact, had a flat tire. Joplin Police Department do confirm also they arrested a 25-year-old male driving a pickup truck with a flat tire for careless and imprudent driving. Our number 2 story, KOAM News Now, one we broke first. We were there right after the show last Friday. A Barton County deputy exchange of gunfire with a man who was ramming vehicles on private property. Then the man turned towards the deputy and rammed his vehicle into the deputy. Deputy was not injured, but the man then traveled down the road and became unresponsive and went into a ditch. Very bizarre story. They have filed charges. Felony charges. I think he is still recuperating after being flown to Joplin for medical care. Not sure the extent of the injuries. I do not believe he was shot. I believe he had a medical episode and then went off the road. Our number 1 story, Buc-ee's.
Yes.
A lot of people might not know how to say it. You know, Gary Busey went to Pittsburgh State.
Really?
The actor Gary Busey. So I always like to call this Busey's, and I get in trouble. But it's Buc-ee's, all right? The first Buc-ee's opened in Missouri, and Springfield's about an hour away from Joplin if you're traveling I-44. It's mile marker 84. T-shirts are real popular. Buc-ee's Springfield.
It's cool.
When I was young, like, we had the Hard Rock Cafe shirts.
Oh my
gosh.
God.
I remember going to Dallas to get one.
Oh.
So now my grandkids, take them to Buc-ee's and get a Buc-ee's.
Yeah, you wear that with pride.
Yeah,
You're
why
the cool
not?
kid in school.
I love it.
There's a shirt right there.
And there's a lot of things in there, really.
It's actually super fun to go shopping in there.
The food is good. I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking.
Great for Christmas.
And then our bonus story of the week. Speaking of Christmas, I love it. It's our Christmas light list.
Yes.
So you go to our list, KOAM News Now, and it's got everything. I've arranged them in groups, like north of Joplin, west of Joplin, etc. And then you click on each one, and it gives you directions exactly to that location.
That is so cool that you did that.
Thank
you
you.
took the time.
I really
So
do.
we can enjoy all these beautiful lights.
And I love it. It's so easy. You got a car full of grandkids or kids.
Right.
And you just click on it, and it takes you right there. So like Carthage has a couple of big things. And then we also have individual residents, but they have to be good enough to drive
To make
across
the
town.
list.
Like we don't play. They got to be good.
All right. Well, thank you, Shannon. And stick around because we've got more news coming up right after this.
It's a candy cane cash craze this holiday season at Indigo Sky Casino. Fridays for
offers won't be back in stock.
Good morning and welcome back. We're taking a live look out of our downtown Joplin camera, courtesy of Cornell Complex. We do have a lot of clouds out there. The camera's shaking a little bit. Winds are sustained at about 10 miles per hour. Nothing too strong, but it is still dry, and it will stay dry through the morning hours in Joplin and Pittsburgh. The rain won't push into your areas until after lunchtime. Temperatures are on the mild side, considering we were in the 20s and 30s at this time yesterday morning. We're at 51 in Joplin, 50 degrees in Miami. We're at 50 degrees in Neosho, 50 in Carthage, and we have some more 40s where it is raining. So back toward Sedan, we're at 41, 43 in Independence, 47 Newata, and 45 in Yates Center. Here's where the rain is currently falling. It's primarily west of Chanute at this time. All of the other green on the map, well, That is rain falling from the clouds but not reaching the ground because we have a lot of dry air in the lower levels of the atmosphere. But the atmosphere will moisten up and we'll actually see that rain. It'll just take a little while to get here. But it is already here in Burlington, Yates Center, Fredonia, back into Eureka, Howard, Sedan, Independent. It's been raining for the past couple of hours. Iola, Chanute, Erie, Parsons, maybe a couple of sprinkles at this point, but we're still pretty dry. And then into Oklahoma we go, Bartlesville. It's been raining all the way down into Tulsa, Nowata, probably a few sprinkles. Pryor Creek, same story. So you can expect the rain to increase over the next couple of hours with the rain arriving into Missouri and Arkansas during the afternoon. And here's our latest future track computer model doing a good job of showing where the rain is right now. So we have high confidence as we go into the future. And this is why it's taking so long for the rain to get here. It's not moving from west to east. Instead, it's moving from southwest to northeast, closer to a more southerly to northerly track instead of a westerly to easterly track. So by noon, you can see that rain just making it into Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, and also Miami. And that rain won't cross the border into Missouri and into portions of Arkansas until after lunchtime. But it is looking for a wet evening commute. So you may want to add a little bit of extra travel time. Take it easy on the roads. If you have any dinner plans or if you're going out for date night, definitely take the umbrella with you. Tomorrow morning, it'll be cloudy. It'll be damp. A couple of showers possible across the region. It's not widespread. The bulk of the precipitation will be out of here at that time. Then during the afternoon, an upper level system will clip us from the north. So we could see a couple of lingering showers across Missouri and Arkansas. Cloudy there, highs in the upper 40s, but look farther south and west. You may actually see some late day sunshine. Wouldn't that be nice? How much rain are we expecting to get? Well, a quarter to about a half an inch for those areas in green, and then for the areas in blue where we've been seeing the rain all morning long, maybe closer to a half, maybe even up to an inch in some locations. And where the higher totals will be is where the drought is actually the worst, which is good news in Kansas, back toward Independence, and it looks like back toward Nevada and into portions of central Missouri. That is where the drought is a little bit higher as far as the category goes. We're in that severe drought category there. For your 7-day forecast, we are going to see those showers linger into the weekend, but overall a drier weekend compared to today. Sunday's the better weekend day, 53. A bit chilly again on Monday, but when I say chilly, 48, that's actually our average this time of year. It's just been so warm this December. The weather stays quiet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a stray shower Thursday. I think we'll see more in the way of cloud cover. And then the shower chances return, unfortunately, as we head into the holiday weekend. Christmas Eve on Sunday, showers will be possible. Still, some changes are expected as the timing and the strength of the system still up in the air. So stay tuned for changes. Caitlin?
In Consumer Watch this morning, some airlines are bracing for a surge in travelers this holiday season. United Airlines says it expects to see about 9 million travelers during the Christmas holiday week, a 12% rise from last year. Delta Airlines is expecting 9 million passengers, but that number also includes trips through the first week of January. Meanwhile, Southwest Airlines says it is bracing for record numbers for its fourth quarter operating revenues and passengers. The American Automobile Association estimates the total number of travelers in the U.S. for the holiday travel period will reach its second highest level in more than 20 years. And if you want your gifts to arrive before Christmas, this is the last weekend for regular ground shipping. Fox News multimedia reporter Chelsea Torres is at the post office processing facility near Charlotte, where workers are hustling to get back packages across the country in time for Christmas.
The U.S. Postal Service says they're about to hit 8 billion packages for processing before Christmas, and they hit just 12 billion last year for the holiday season. They're telling me if you have not sent your packages out yet, right now is crunch time. Just in time for peak holiday season, the U.S. Postal Service has opened a new processing facility in North Carolina with some of the best technology to push packages to their destinations.
There's 7 high-speed package sorting machines in this facility. We had 350 high-speed package sorting machines installed in our facilities across the country in just the last 3 years.
The post office say these machines work 24/7. They help process packages 12 times faster than they have in the past.
Cuts down on forklifts going across the floor, potential hazards, less people have to touch the mail just for that part of the process, and it just helps us to be more efficient and streamline the operation.
As a new facility, they're working to process 350,000 packages a day. So if you have a friend in the Charlotte area mailing a package to you,
it comes in here and then we send it out to the world. So anything a customer is mailing anywhere in the world, we process here in this facility.
USPS say packages spend an average of 2.5 days in the mail. But don't wait too long, the clock is ticking to get packages sent for Christmas. The deadline to ship regular ground shipping with FedEx is Friday, December 15th, U.S. Postal Service Saturday, December 16th, and UPS Monday, December 18th.
However, if you are sending locally or regionally, you might have an extra day or two, but I wouldn't necessarily take that chance.
If you still have packages to send last minute, just know you will be paying those extra fees to make sure that package is under the tree for Christmas. In Charlotte, Chelsea Torres, Fox News.
Those are our top stories for Consumer Watch. We'll be right back.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Then Dak leads the Cowboys. Touchdown! Against Josh Allen and the Bills. Wow! Sunday on Fox. Check for the game in your area.
A father and daughter in Wisconsin made a historic discovery. While they were out fishing this summer, it turns out that the duo ran across an 1871 shipwreck that was believed to have been in fire. Ben Krumzek has more.
6-year-old Henley Wolak is used to finding the big one while out on the water with Dad.
I like fishing with my daddy.
The find one day this summer near Green Island was unlike any the duo had discovered before.
Well, I was surprised that I had never seen it before because it's in an area where people regularly go.
Based off the boat's side imaging, Henley had her own idea what they might have found.
Octopus. Its long tentacles made the marks.
While that would have been something, Dad, Tim Wolak, thought it was a shipwreck, but hadn't heard of one being in that location before. He took his pictures to Facebook groups where someone with the Wisconsin Historical Society came across them.
We went back to our database to see if there was anything reported in the area, and we didn't have anything. However, in the database, we have information on historic losses, and this fits the loss location of the George L. Newman.
The 122-foot-long George L. Newman, carrying lumber from Little Swamico, was trying to navigate thick black smoke on the night of the Peshtigo fire when it grounded near Green Island. The crew was rescued and stayed on the island for a week, trying to salvage what they could from the vessel.
It was actually built in 1855, so it's a pretty significant shipwreck. Pretty old for Wisconsin shipwrecks anyway. And to have it tied to the Peshtigo fire it makes it even more special.
A few shipwrecks are reported to the Historical Society each year, but one from a 6-year-old and her dad is rare.
I don't know how we top it. I told her I'm pretty sure there's no one else in her school that's ever found a shipwreck that nobody had recorded before.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources did more imaging last week and further confirmed the Historical Society's suspicions of it being Newman. A survey is planned for next spring to assess the site for possible listing on the National Register of Historic Places.
Okay. And we're taking a live look out of our Indigo Sky Cam. It is a dreary and cloudy start into portions of northeastern Oklahoma, but we are still dry at this point. The clouds have a high base at this time. We need them to lower. We need the atmosphere to really moisten up before we start to see that rain. But we are seeing the rain reaching the ground into some of our westernmost communities. These are areas west of Chanute. Chanute, you're probably seeing a little bit of light rain at this time, but it's taken a while to get to you. Eureka down into Howard, Sedan, and Bartlesville, seeing the steady light rain, so take it easy on the roads. The rest of us, just dry, cloudy, and mild. Look at these numbers. We're in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Where it is raining, we're in the lower 40s. So once the rain moves into your city or town, temperatures will start to drop. So planning your day, showers increasing from west to east, won't arrive into Joplin or Pittsburgh until the afternoon hours, and the rain will be most widespread during the evening commute and the overnight period. We'll take one last look at your 10-day forecast coming up. Caitlin?
30 minutes over a cup of coffee, loaded nachos at halftime, a spin dash for the win.
1945. The Walnut, Kansas native served aboard the escort carrier USS Cambier Bay. We are proud to salute James Lowe, a 4th state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A Joplin police officer has minor injuries following a crash yesterday. Investigators say the officer was running with his lights and sirens on to an emergency call, traveling north on South Main Street. They say a westbound pickup did not yield at the intersection with 32nd Street and T-boned into the patrol car. The officer was treated at the hospital for his minor injuries, and the pickup driver was not hurt. The Economic Security Corporation unveiled their CARS project. CARS stands for Community Action Ride System. Volunteers will drive their own cars and take people free of charge anywhere in Jasper, Barton, Newton, and McDonald counties. Rides outside the 4 counties are available if the driver is willing. Economic Security says the program can be used for just about anything.
Showers will continue to push from west to east this morning and will likely arrive in Pittsburgh and Kansas around or shortly after lunchtime. A couple of showers could linger into your Saturday. Will be breezy, cooler, 48. Sunday, the better weekend day, more sunshine, 53. We're in the upper 40s on Monday, and then we get warm again, close to 60 Wednesday and Thursday. The weather pattern gets more active, unfortunately, and those rain chances return as we head into the holiday weekend. Christmas, Caitlin, only 10 days away. Can't believe it.
All right, counting down. Well, a polar bear recently celebrated his 17th birthday with cold treats and his favorite toy at the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois. Video released by the Chicago Zoological Society shows Hudson, the polar bear, snacking on savory and sweet ice treats and pawing at barrels, which the zoo says is one of his favorite enrichment items. Hudson has been a favorite of zoogoers ever since he arrived at the Brookfield Zoo, according to the Chicago Zoological Society. Thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.